That was backhanded as and you weren't the only one. There were other people who nodded yes as he asked that question.
And see it, but I didn't. I looked.
So I also, he specifically said that if she does not have her father, then she's so hold him to his words. That's exactly what he said, and that was the reason why I gave other examples and other roles, because of his words.
Even the women who think that they're actually doing it, when they find value in you and they do just so happen to have a little bit of money, they are more than generous, not just with money, access, experiences. And that's why I say it's laughable, because when you're around wealthy people, rich people, you start to understand that they don't spend a lot of time talking about money.
Cause she'll call for anything. Oh man, he did this, he did that, child. I dated a girl a few years ago, not a few years ago, but pre C19. She gossiping and carrying on about everything we do. I said, man, you a chatty patty. Her uncle, who I used to drink with, he used to tell me all types of stuff. Man, she said this about you. I'm like, what? Man, that's a dangerous thing. And again, it's these guys who don't represent the overall male population giving advice. Short, ugly dudes need to give advice about women and about manhood. I'm just gonna be completely honest about it.
Because wait a minute, aren't you married?
Because what it sounds like is that our sisters are choosing males and don't know it.
There's a lot of males out there, honey. There's so many males out there.
But there are
so many.
There are so many females out there too.
I bet you
Agreed.
Like I said,
females though.
Our brothers are struggling.
Yeah.
Our women are doing better, but they're not doing well.
Mm-hmm.
Our sisters are still choosing males and don't know it. And then what they're then doing is they're disparaging the men that actually exist because they keep choosing males.
Well, here's a sitch when it comes to like choosing males. That's basically the whole choose better argument. And I will say, from my standpoint of being a woman, I'll speak for, a lot of other women here, you would have to have like superhuman powers of discernment to weed through because here's the thing.
So I'll give you an example.
Okay.
This is where
let me tell you.
We get ready to lock in. We are getting ready to lock in.
So let me tell you the level of deception that that males can actually have.
Yes.
Men can have whole other families on the other side of town.
Absolutely.
And women find out when the man dies.
But you know what? See, so this is now you're hearing what you're hearing right now?
What am I hearing?
You're hearing the importance of partnering with a man.
Yeah.
You need a man.
I do.
I'm not talking about in terms of that part to me is, I mean, you're heterosexual.
I am hetero. Yes. Very straight. Yes.
So now I'm not going to say that you need a man, because that's not for me to say.
Yeah.
What you do need is a man.
I do need a man.
You have one. Your big brother is here. We are getting ready to lock in.
Let me tell you.
Now here's what's going to happen.
Wait. You heard it here first, folks. I'm putting him to work. He going to find me a man.
Big bro is here.
Okay.
This. So you thought this was an interview for your podcast?
Well, no, actually, no. I knew this was going to happen, and I was very excited about it.
1,000%. I knew it way before, but I just couldn't say it.
Right.
Now that we're here and we got to this part of the conversation,
mm-hmm.
This is what this is.
Yay.
This is what the day was about. Because you need a big brother.
I do. Jeff is and you know what? I can't wait to tell you, sir. Jeff is my big brother.
That's my bro, Jeff Friday.
Yes, Jeff Friday.
That's my bro.
Yes.
But even he will tell you this is another level now.
Mm-hmm.
Because here's what's going to happen.
Okay.
You can't detect that stuff. The stuff that we talked about. The dudes who got the whole other lives and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Guess who can?
You.
Your big brother.
Okay.
Because when the last thing that a male wants to be around
mm-hmm.
is a man.
That is true.
The last thing that a male wants to be around is a man.
Mm-hmm.
Because he knows that man sees him.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
I do understand.
So when you sitting there, I got somebody I need for you to meet. My big brother. Because here's what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you exactly how this is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say we're talking about Rob. Sorry for all the Robs out there. Don't take it personally. Let's say you call me and you say, big bro, I need you to meet Rob.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, word. I say word because
mm-hmm.
I'm from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
So I get together with Rob and I go, sis, see you in a few.
Mm-hmm.
And you go away.
Mm-hmm.
Because now I got to talk to Rob. My conversation with Rob goes like this. Rob, this is not my DNA sister, but this is my sister. This is what I want you to understand. I got 2 rules. Don't ever abandon or abuse my sister. If either one of those things happen, you and I are going to have another kind of conversation. And I'm going to see you. Because this is my sister. And I'm her big brother. I'm not giving this to you as a threat. I'm not a gangster. I'm not a thug. That's the conversation I have with Rob.
So what happens for all the other women out there that don't have a big brother, a father?
But does every woman need at least one trustworthy man in her life, even if she never marries?
Yeah, her father.
100%.
Well, what if her father's not living?
Well, she's fucked. I'm not trying to be funny. That's the only man that she could ever trust and genuinely just want her best interest and not want anything from her. Because just to be fair, if she's attractive, she's double fucked. Because again, there's not a man that's going to want to be around her and not see or have some sort of inclination about what he can get from her physically because she's attractive. If the less attractive she is, the less fucked she is. But that's the same like in real life. But the odds of an attractive woman finding a man that she can rely on and trust and is not giving him some shit, it's got to be her daddy. That he's the safest bet.
Her brothers, her uncles, a lot of them serve equivalent roles. You have a lot of brothers who, especially when it comes to little sister, that do exactly, that was literally the role that he said he was playing, the brother, which is the protector, etc. So I don't believe that a responsibility relies on one role. That I think that as long as a person has the qualifications, the care, then they can fulfill that role. So it does not have to be, the dad. It can be anyone who has that same level of love, care, support, level of effort, etc. They can do it. I land there.
So, to be clear, real quick, did anybody think that I was just talking about the dad, or was that? Okay, never mind. No problem.
I did. I thought you were just talking about the dad.
And I'm sure it makes sense because I understand like where your viewpoints are. But I think that especially the fellas understand.
Because you said her father. So unless you were talking about someone playing a father role, you specifically said her father. You didn't say, so that's why the other examples got included as like brother, uncle, because it's a community effort. It should never just rely solely on one person, in my opinion.
That's fair, because the way I worded it, I see why you took it that way. But I think that I've had this conversation up here enough, which is why that you were the only one. That's fair. And then you're also new, so that's cool. So no problem.
All right.
That was backhanded as fuck. And you weren't the only one. There were other people who nodded yes as he asked that question.
See it, but I didn't. I looked.
So I also, he specifically said that if she does not have her father, then she's fucked. So hold him to his words. That's exactly what he said. And that was the reason why I gave other examples and other roles, because of his words. I land there.
Okay.
I like the respectful sarcasm back and forth. Go ahead, True. What you thinking over there, man?
Just collectively, it's interesting that this panel, JR, you could tell us if you got like a background deal with Melyssa Ford or whatever, because we keeping her so relevant. Like
if I see Melyssa Ford, if I come to Dallas and we link and I see Melyssa Ford run into the bathroom at the crib or something, bro, I'm gonna know why you was talking about her ass so much.
For real.
And I wouldn't even really be mad at you, to be fair. Like that, I don't need a man vagina when they give it up. That shit is spectacular. So go off, big dog. I hope you are successful.
I don't know her, man, but go ahead, True.
No, I think that it's kind of very rich that we keep building these narratives around who got what and how much money and the intimidation. I definitely like what Bo said as far as the leadership is concerned. I do think even T offered, something of substance in regards to her sister, and using a personal example. I think a lot of times if you're dealing with a man who has not arrived at understanding his talent, his abilities, and all he knows how to do is show up in the world with his little contribution. Now, when I say little, I'm trying to be respectful in a sense. Most of the time, there's very few outliers that are in our community that are standing prominent when it comes to finances. It's just the truth. To build wealth takes time, and it typically is not one layer, one dimensional. There are some exceptions, but we don't live in exceptions. We live in, majority, right? And so sometimes having this energy behind why women are claiming to not find adequate men because they're making so much money and we can't keep up. I see that to actually not be true. Even the women who think that they're actually doing it, when they find value in you and they do just so happen to have a little bit of money, they are more than generous, not just with money, access, experiences. And that's why I say it's laughable, because when you're around wealthy people, rich people, you start to understand that they don't spend a lot of time talking about money as much as y'all think they do. They actually just talk about life. Now, are there business deals that are being discussed? Absolutely. Are there masterminds that you're being invited to? Absolutely. But they're trying to figure out what's between your ears. Who are you as a person? What have you done thus far? What have you done is not necessarily tied to your income stream. That's why I always, again, laugh. I mean, that's why, maybe an hour ago, I was talking about your job as a woman, because a lot of women think because they have a high salary, they're actually doing it out here. And that's fine. But yeah, I think it's a dope discussion thus far. Interested to see where we go from here. And I'll land.
Dondré Whitfield in that segment reminded me of something that happened to me way before I got married, about maybe 15 years ago. I'm dating this chick. Now, I'm from Northeast Ohio, I'm from Cleveland, but this chick is from, I don't want to name the city she's from, but I'll name the cities her two cousins are from. She's from this Bama-ass city in Ohio. Now, her cousins are from Warren, Ohio. Have you guys ever heard of Warren, Ohio? A god-awful little town in Northeast Ohio. Practically sharecroppers. Here I go. I come from a great family, upper middle class. I'm dating this girl from this little crappy town. I'm not gonna name the town she's from. Nice girl. We go to a one of those buffet spots. I can't think of the name of it. I think it was like Old Town Buffet or something. And she said, I want you to meet my family. Now, these two sharecropping Negroes, her cousins, now these some big sharecroppers. One of the dudes, he does that tap. Like a lot of black dudes do that tap. He tapped me on my knee. We were talking. He said, man, we got to talk to you. You don't hit girls, do you? Like almost like basically like what Whitfield said. Like, oh, I'm not a gangster, but I'm just gonna let you know. Now here I go in my mind. I'm doing your cousin a favor. I come from a better family than she does. I come from a better city than she does. And here I got two sharecroppers, para threatening me. Now, they didn't come out right and say anything. They just said, you don't hit girls, do you? I'm like, what? Like, I was caught off guard by these two sharecroppers. What does this have to do with Dondré Whitfield, CT? Well, a woman should have a male in her life. If my current wife's father, had he called me and said, or asked me a crazy ass question like that, I probably wouldn't even be married to this day. That's the setup. That friend, that guy, that male person, even a father. This movie's fake, but the Godfather. Vito says never interfere. That's the Godfather. I don't interfere in Connie's life. And that was a good lesson. A woman should not have the interference of some man in her life, because she could weaponize that man. At any given moment, she gets mad. So Dondré Whitfield, he's giving some bad advice, man. Again, he's this really good-looking guy who doesn't represent the overall male population. He's giving bad advice. See, I don't want to get my ass whooped by some sharecroppers from a little mid-town, some little shitty town. Oh, man, that's horrifying. So, no, a woman shouldn't have that guy in her circle. I'm sorry. Even your father. You're a grown-ass woman. You chose to marry this person. That's your responsibility. Call the police. That's just me, though. That's just me. That's just me, man. True, that's just me, buddy. That's me. That's me. Cause she'll call for anything. Anything. Oh man, he did this. He did that, child. I dated a girl a few years ago. Not a few years ago, but pre C19. She gossiping and carrying on about everything we do. I said, man, you a chatty patty. Her uncle, who I used to drink with, he used to tell me all types of stuff. Man, she said this about you. I'm like, what? Man, that's a dangerous thing. And again, it's these guys who don't represent the overall male population giving advice. Short, ugly dudes need to give advice about women and about manhood. I'm just gonna be completely honest about it. Because
wait a minute, aren't you married?
I am married. I'm married to a beautiful woman. Beautiful.
There you
brother.
go. I don't know. So you're kind of defying you're like, oh, you're short, your legs dangle, this and that. But here you are married. So you
because one thing right? I have mastered. The gift of gab, confidence. Listen, I used to shock a lot of females, man. You shock a motherfucker. You know, I walk up to a group of super hot chicks and get to talking. And that's a mind F to them, because, you know, a lot of chicks, they're like, whoa, this dude looks like, I was about to say this joke, but I ain't going to say it. But, you know, I've done things to cultivate who I am now. So I don't have I never had a problem with chicks, to be completely honest with you, but I've mastered the game, and I know a charlatan when I see one. Dondré is a bad person for what he's doing with that advice. He doesn't represent 90% of men. 90% of men are ugly. Let's be honest.
You're proving what the gentleman on the panel
Chaotic. Come on.
Oh, you mean land the plane? Okay, I'll land the plane, buddy.
Go ahead. Land the plane. I got you right after.
So Dondré is saying every woman should have this man. No. Bad girl. And if a guy believes in that stuff, he's a dummy. Because at any moment, again, some man could be weaponized against you by that woman. Hell no. Mother F no. Go ahead, guys.
All right. So Chaotic, you kind of went against everything you said earlier, right? You basically made it as if you had no shot. But universally, right? What do we tell men to do? Is to lean into their strengths, right? That's why you notice a lot of dudes who are tall, who have the handsome privilege, they usually got no game, right? Because they don't have to, because their strength is just to exist. So it is easier, but it doesn't mean that you can't get yours. You don't have the look, so then you do other things. Just like there's women who may not look the part, right, as far as being attractive to all men, but then they may have some other talents that are very attractive to men. So it's the same thing. That's all we really have to do, because it's not impossible. Women aren't gonna. So if you don't have money, that's fine. You just got to be something else that attracts women. And most of these things that attract women, we can actually do, just like you did. If you say you got everything against you, right? You say you're short, and by your own opinion, you're ugly.
Look like Beetlejuice in the face.
Right. Okay.
Howard Stern, yeah.
And you still got it. And you said you've never had a problem with women. So
I wouldn't say never.
You said never.
I must have made a mistake. I must have been speaking too fast. Oh, don't get me wrong. I've been turned down before.
All I'm doing is I'm just
take on that.
Everybody been turned down.
What you said. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying what you said. This is none of this is manifesting from my brain, but I think everybody else heard you say that too. But either way, you haven't had a problem in quite a while, right? So as an adult, I would imagine you've done well. You feel like the gift of gab, which you have to develop, because I had to develop that, right? And I'm going to tell you, it's things that you work on, but it doesn't mean that it's impossible. Anything else that we work, that we want in life, we work for. We tell women the same thing, right? If we want to obtain certain things, we want a certain result, then in order to get that result, you have to work for it. We encourage women to work very hard to get men. We say there's things that you need to work on, there's things that you need to correct, and you need to make the adjustments. So guess what? The same rules apply. You have to make the adjustments to make yourself more marketable.
But Dondré, I mean, Trev, that's not what Dondré was talking about. Dondré was saying that a woman should have a go-to man in her life, like her father or something. And all I was saying is he has the privilege to say that dumb shit. A guy like me, it's just I don't want to get beat up by somebody's father because
but that sounds like an
something.
Insecurity on your end.
You goddamn right it's insecurity, Jay. You goddamn right it is.
Listen,
do you want to get beat up? I don't want to get beat up. I don't want nobody putting their paws on me.
A person like you would just listen. Listen, if you're scared, then you might as well just exercise.
Is it really worth the risk, Trev? Is it really worth the risk?
Answer it for us. Was it worth it?
That's different. I think results may vary. I think it depends on the.
Now, Dondré is saying he's rich. His wife is rich. He's living in the lap of luxury. He can say whatever he wants to say. But in the real world where I live at, making a certain amount of money per year, I don't have these luxuries.
But wouldn't you want your daughter to have somebody who, if say you're no longer around, wouldn't you want your daughter to have somebody who can, help her with, like, she doesn't have maybe the best discernment, maybe, she might need that person. You don't want that?
Hold on.
Is she not an adult?
For clarity, when you say she might not have the discernment, what is the man supposed to do? Is he supposed to help her choose, or
just like
fighter battles? I mean, Jesus Christ!
No, it's
not. Go ahead, Jay. Go ahead.
So it's support, right? It's, hey, listen. I mean, I don't know if you watched the whole thing, if you were on here the whole time, but why are you shaking your head?
Jay, Jay, there have been so many men who have been maimed, K-worded, hospitalized because they were that man that Dondré's talking about in some chick life, they cousin, they daughter, whatever, brother, and that woman weaponized them to get effed up. Man, those days are over, man. I'm just saying. It's not me being a coward or nothing. It's just I have a life too. I don't want to be all chicken wing arm because somebody messed up my body.
So you don't want anybody to. You don't want any, like, just say, I don't know, your wife. I'm not sure. Does she have anybody that was supportive in her family?
Of course, she does.
Okay, were you still alive?
But Dondré said he called someone. He called his sister. The guy, and said, "That's my sister now, and you drive turkey, and you better be careful." And I'm like, that's what I'm talking about, that intimidation thing. The father or the brother, I get that. The father or the brother doesn't have to call me to say these things. It's already known, right? But he's saying that as a man, you should make that phone call. Did he not say that in that video? We can play it back. He said
he called him over. I think it was in person.
You drive turkey. That's my sister now, and I'm like, if a dude called me,
usually men do it by
I'd hung the phone up on him.
They give him that handshake, that firm handshake, letting them know.
But he didn't say. But see, Jay, here goes the thing about men. He didn't say that. He said call. He said I'm gonna call and I'm gonna talk to the sucker and the drive turkey. No, you don't do that as a man. No. I know I wouldn't do it. Imagine me calling some Trev. You said you 6'5" or something. You dating my sister, Trev, man. I need you better, hey man, you better be careful. Now, you'll be like, dude.
I'm not saying you have to do that.
You'll be like, who you talking to, man?
Remove height out of the equation, though. Like if somebody called and was like, something is going on with your mother, like you're not gonna just be like, oh, I'm only 5'3". He's 6'9". You're gonna be like, that's my mom. It's like,
I want to kind of get back on
Jay,
track.
that's not what happened.
It was in person.
He called before anything happened. That's the problem. And that's why I gave you the story what happened with me. I had never even met this woman's cousins, and they coming up to me doing that power tap. Hey man, you know that's our cousin, and you know you hit girls. No, it's intimidation. And me being a smaller guy, I felt intimidated. I was scared, and I didn't like that shit.
Yeah, I do think it's stupid. I do think it's stupid to do that because of course, it depends on the type of guy she with. But it's like for me, like I'm different from chaotic. It's like, yo, who you talking to? That's all it is with me.
See,
like what you like? You think you can whoop me? Like when when like you shake a guy, shake your hand and he do it extra hard. You think you can beat me? What's going on? I think it's
now
like
imagine. Go ahead, Jay. Go ahead, sweetheart.
No, I was saying I'm not saying do that, but it was like, wouldn't you?
But that's what Dondré said.
But shouldn't a woman have somebody like a father figure, somebody that they can look up to?
Jay, yes, but Dondré said that
I'm being scared. All right,
hold on.